One.
Good evening. How is everybody doing? You are most welcome along to another episode of Saving Grace. This is session 10, The Depths of One's Soul. And I am really excited to get started this evening. We are about halfway through our adventure. And if you've been following along, um, the group have begun to find the true horror of what lurks underneath the Blackmoor mansion. We are going to give you a very quick recap. If you didn't get a chance to watch the VOD, all of the past episodes are available on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/@ D8 Dungeon, or just D8 Dungeon on YouTube. You'll find it all there. Um, we are a group of TTRPGers, mostly from Ireland, but with players and friends abroad who love to get together and tell stories. And while doing so, sharing them with you, and uh, if at all possible, using our platform to uplift others in the community and raise money and awareness for charities every now and again. Um, Tonight is a D&D 5e adventure, uh, heavily inspired by gothic horror. We explore very heavy emotional, uh, oftentimes kind of psychological themes within the game. All the players and I have done session zeros together, so we've discussed our boundaries. If that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, if you're not into horror, if you're not into heavy emotional psychological horror, the odd bit of gore, nothing too hefty. Okay, it's gross. Mostly food horror. I think I've gotten really good at making people not want to eat food. Um, or that one particular person who's really into the way I describe food. Uh, then uh, by all means, check out any of the other amazing TTRPG streams that are taking place right now. This might not be your cup of tea. If you're in chat, do say hello. There are ways in which, by watching along, you can get involved. You can use your channel points or your heart points, HP, to give players some inspiration. You can give me inspiration. Just putting that out there too. But we would love to hear from you. Before we dive into our recap, Emma, do you want to tell us about some of our
Our
friends?
good friends in the Mystery Dice Goblin, who are a UK based TTRPG shop. They do everything from dice, accessories, dice towers, and they do these really fun mystery dice bags, which Declan is very fond of. Um,
Now,
they
to be fair, the last two I didn't buy; I was gifted.
Oh, that's nice. And yeah, if you use the code D8 on checkout, you'll get 15% off, and 14% of that comes to us to help us pay for music and artists and all the good things that makes D8 very special. I'm gonna say special. Yeah, so
I'll
it's
take it.
Mystery Dice Goblin. Definitely go check them out. They have some really cool stuff.
And yes, Ali Cyrus, they were bribes. That's how you got your two levels. So that'll teach the rest of Saving Grace cast, won't it?
So note to self: buy Declan mystery bags.
Awesome. Thanks, Emma. Actually, very quickly before we do move on, Emma is the producer for this stream, and obviously one of our players too. So just to very quickly acknowledge Emma and all the work that they do behind the screen and on the screen at the same time.
Would you say
And
I'm also special, or?
Hendai, the recap, please. Get
Thank you,
me out of
Declan.
that
I
one.
appreciate it.
The recap starts with a very special shit. Okay, no, but in all fairness, so our last game, if you weren't around, was brutal. Like it was absolutely horrendous for everyone involved, but it was great fun. So it started on the back of us finally managing to get away from some very interesting characters in the ballroom. And we got into a bedroom. There was a bit of there was a lot of tension because of where we were. There was a lot of fog, and then from that, we were set upon by a few. I have notes. Hold on a second. Um, I have thralls. Were they thralls
Mhm.
or did I get them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we said, but three of them destroyed us just straight away. Just all of us were. It was bad. It was bad. It was a mixture of somebody going down, somebody trying to save them going down, other person getting up, and we went like that for a while. It was pretty much whack-a-mole, with all of our souls involved, and we honestly didn't realize we didn't think we'd survive. Frankly, I didn't think I would survive, but we were promised that if we were still standing and conscious at the end of the last game, we were allowed to level up, which is a rarity. It's like a blue moon, and we got to level up. So yay for us! But I know now because we've leveled up, things are going to get even more terrible. So
Mm.
we know what we're about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, it was Grace, Sanda, Shiet, and Thane were set upon by a Bone Devil as well, which was very interesting. Never came across one of those before. And yeah, horror TTRPG is not for the squishy. Not for the squishy at all. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened in the last game. We were fighting for our lives in a single room. We didn't even get past a room.
We've stayed in the master bedroom. That was the last room that had been drawn. Just for anybody that might be jumping in at this point, we are playing D&D 5e as I mentioned, but I am doing something kind of differently when it comes to the layout of the Blackmoor mansion, the estate that we are in. For anybody that is familiar or plays board games, you might have heard of a game called Betrayal at the House on the Hill, where the house is built by drawing tiles. So every time you play, the house is different in terms of layout and locations. And I am taking a leaf out of that book. So our house is being built as the players traverse through it. Hopefully, they've been making a map. I have. And who's to say my map is the real map?
Oh dear.
Yeah. And I've, so we've ended in the master bedroom, and while the last session was canon, it was a waking nightmare experienced by our four characters who find themselves on the other side of it. The body of Eleanor Blackmore lying halfway out of the doorway from her her rather large walk-in closet and sort of vanity space. There is blood all over the floor. The room is incredibly cold, incredibly dark. You do not hear a soul beyond. The door you came through leading to the ballroom is there. You still see it on the western wall. There is another door right across from it. That is where Eleanor is, on the eastern side, and on on the northern side is her, the door you came through, and then on the eastern side is the door. There's three doors. Why am I getting so confused and trying to describe this? There's three doors in this room.
And now he needs a map.
I have a map. That's the problem. I got north, south, and east and west confused.
My map is now covered in doors.
There are three doors in this room. You've come through one which was on the western wall. There is one on the oh my god, no. There's one you came through the door on the south. there's a door on the eastern side and right across from ye. So if you're on the southern side of the room, right across on the northern side, you do see there's a doorway leading into a little kind of vanity room walk-in closet.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. I've just drawn it on my map.
Okay, so we came through the southern
Yes,
door,
yeah,
and
that's
there's a
the
door
ballroom.
on the east.
Yes, yeah,
And her body's hanging out of the door on the north.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Like
Just the
the doorway.
walk-in
Yeah, yeah.
closet.
Yeah.
Walk-in closet. Yeah. It's and the four of you are in the room.
Deadly. Okay, cool. How? Okay, Grace is going to go over to Eleanor tentatively, considering what's been happening, to assess the damage. But I'm pretty sure we all know the state of things.
Assess the damage as in like investigate the body, is it? Or
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, okay. Yeah, give me an investigation check.
19.
She's dead.
That's not funny.
Sorry, Declan. Sorry. Hold me.
Uh,
That is
Your-
funny.
Grace, as you sort of limp towards the northern side of the room, the blood is thick as you kind of scoop down, kind of squatting to kind of get a better look at this woman. Her skin is deathly pale, and you can see that as you sort of lean down in and kind of get a closer look, the blood is pooling from her chest. Her nightdress gown that she's wearing has soaked up a lot of the blood. Lifting her a little, you see that her eyes are open, and there are clearly dried tears, like tear stains on her face.
Mhm.
There is a hole in the left side of her chest.
Um, I'm sorry this happened to you. Grace is going to, as gently as possible, put her down and close her eyes.
When you do, like when you kind of like go to just kind of put the body back and whatnot, you hear a slight rattling, just like a soft metallic sort of rattle. There's a large silver chain around her neck.
I will pick up the chain to investigate it.
You've seen Eleanor before,
Yep.
Grace. Like when you first woke in the house, you remember this. It was this long plunging necklace with kind of a locket at the bottom, like just sort of drooping there. That is missing. It seems to have been snapped or pulled off.
And in through the doorway, like into the, I suppose, the dressing room,
Mhm.
is there another door out of that room?
You'd have to go in and take a look.
Okay.
What's everybody else doing at this point?
Xander is hovering, kind of, not literally hovering, on the other side of the room, kind of away.
But they
from
could
the
if they
body.
want.
Away from the body, away from the blood, and he's just kind of, standing there kind of stiffly. He lights a cigarette and is just letting Grace work away. He's not looking at it, not intervening.
Okay, so kind of maybe almost near the window, kind of just like smoking. Give me a perception check,
Okay.
Xander.
Perception is 4. Okay. 17.
As you stare out into the dark, you can you can kind of see faint lights coming from maybe some of the lower windows. They're casting a little illumination outside, and you can see that there is just this sort of swirling kind of fog. Like you watch as the little tendrils of smoke from your cigarette and the odd parse that just sort of escapes from between your lips drifts up towards the window, and it all kind of seems to merge. You see something moving in the fog. No, not something. Some things are moving below.
Okay. So we're up a level, so we're not on ground level. We're
You're on the top. You're on like second floor of the house.
second floor of the house, and these are on the ground level.
Ground floor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
I was just going to casually kind of turn around, look over his shoulder to the group again. Just be like, well, there seems to be something outside, but hopefully won't bother us in here.
Something or someone?
Oh, no, some things.
So probably similar to when we first arrived here. The shapes moving in the fog.
Potentially.
Okay.
And we're on the second floor, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. So escaping will not be as easy from up here, but we will make do. Thank you.
Thane and Shuyet.
While Grace was examining the body, I think Shuyet was kind of crouching down in his uncles, just writing in his notebook as she was moving things around. When she leaves the body, where it is, he is also going to follow into the wardrobe, but he's kind of rummaging through whatever's there and checking between the clothes and then the shoes and whatever else is in there to see if you can find anything of interest.
Thank you, Hesh, for the inspiration. I will be carrying that.
Justice will be swift.
Yes, against the players, which is what Hesh wants.
Listen
I
here,
know-
Hesh.
Why?
I know where you live.
Save me from Grace. So, are you following behind Grace into the kind of the?
Yeah, I'm just being a little bit less careful and just a little bit more rough with checking, just looking through to see if there's finding anything good.
And Thane.
He's gonna, hearing what Xander said, he's gonna try and open the window.
Okay.
Seems like a terrible idea.
Oh, fantastic. Let the fog in.
Give me an athletics check.
19.
You open the window, absolutely no problem. You were able to stay inside the house as something goes to yank you through the window. You just feel this force pull you, like trying to tear you out of the house.
Oh. Can I close the window?
Xander, you watch just as kind of Thane, this man that you, whoever he is, lifts the window, and then immediately it's just this force just seems to almost pull him. Like you see him he's torn off the floor, pulled by the neck of the shirt and the collar of the jacket, like towards the window. But for the fact that his hands are braced against the wall, he would be yanked out, and you see his body twisting, like as this thing continues to pull.
Can I just try and shut the window really quickly?
Yeah, it shuts just as easy.
Don't open the window.
Oh my goodness. Could never have thought of that.
Well, how else are we going to get out of this room?
I don't know, the door?
You want to go back in there?
No,
to
the
that
other
wing?
one.
Into the bathroom?
No, that door.
No. So there's the one we came
Grace's,
through?
Grace is gonna gesture to the other door that, like, this door, that door.
Are you all right?
We should all go together. No, I'm not all right. This is.
Oh no, not you. Him.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'll narrow my eyes suspiciously as I just kind of exhale some of the smoke from my cigarette in Thane's direction.
I have a question. Who is this?
This is my supposed to be dead.
Beloved.
Where's the other guy?
Where is the other
What
guy?
other guy?
Thane.
What other guy?
Our solicitor. Byron.
Never heard of him.
Is he lying?
Sure you didn't.
Oh yeah, can we do an insight check?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give me.
Woohoo. 16.
Got an 11.
Are we all doing it?
Yeah, you can. If you're all kind of like sussing him out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
All right.
As this happens with Grace and Shiet kind of rummaging through the wardrobe and vanity room, the walk-in closet for Eleanor Blackmore. As the pair of you kind of stick your heads out to kind of look to see what the commotion was with Xander and Thane, all eyes kind of fall on you, Thane. Grace and Juliet.
Mhm.
You hear something in the walk-in closet.
Something's in here.
Grace is going to pull back Eleanor's body so they can place them on the bed, but keeping an eye in the closet, so they're not taken by surprise.
Shuyat's gonna jump out and shove Thane in. Not
give me
not not like not an aggressive one, but just like hooshing him in and be like, "There's something in there. I need you to find it."
Give me an athletics check.
Yeah.
Or is there are you physically shoving him in, or is
Yes.
it more just like you go in?
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
so-
it's more sort of I am physically putting him into that room, then you can make a strength saving throw.
Unless you really want to go in the closet with him.
15.
I got a 15, but it was a -1, so it's 14.
Oh,
Yeah, Thane, you don't budge. Like he's literally grabbing and pulling at you, trying to shove you in. You again, it sounds like a conversation. It sounds like people are talking in there.
Who's in there, Thane?
He's gonna roll his eyes and walk in of his own free will.
It's again, it's like it's coming from behind a wall. It's slightly muffled, and there's a wall of just absolutely delicate, magnificent dresses and gowns in all colors, shapes and sizes. It's just, but beyond them, Thane, you just hear two voices. Very, very mumbled, very, very muffled.
Like part dresses through there, or like just further into the room?
It's coming from this direction. It's coming from behind this section of the the closet. These dresses.
I guess he'll try and kind of edge his way around.
You try to
moving the dresses, but
are you trying to kind of step through and kind of pushing stuff?
yeah,
Your
but
foot-
like slowly, so not to.
No, I get you. Like
make
it's
the
not
hanger
you're not storming in. It's like just sort of like 1 foot and then kind of swooshing kind of stuff out of the way. That first boot, there's water. Like it's like you step into a deep puddle. It's kind of just some of it kind of gets into your boot. And as you sort of get a handful, your hand behind just these bodices, and you push them out of the way, you see the underground lake. You see Shuyet. And he's talking to somebody. There's someone else, something else here. They're further away. There's very little illumination here, save for some of that algae and moss that's on the rocks and a little bit coming from the stairwell. They're lost in conversation. They do not notice you.
He's going to kind of turn on his heel, draw his sword, and go back to Shuyet and put it under his chin.
As you turn, reach for your sword, something wraps itself around your wrist. Give me a strength saving throw.
Ooh, another 15.
You turn back. It's this. Like at first, it just looks like dark. It looks like a tendril. It looks like a chain, but it's heavier. It's wet. It's burning. Actually, like its grip. It pulls, and you struggle against it. You look like where you look to see that thing, that person, that shadow that Shuyet was talking to. It is now a couple of feet from you. And it is this open maw of teeth and 3 eye slits atop its head that all fix and blink in different times. And the teeth lunge at you.
Ugh.
And you stumble back into the vanity table.
Do we all
Yeah,
see this? Do we see this?
You just see Thane fall back into the vanity table.
Oh, the clothes aren't that aggressive, are they?
You, and he points at Shuyet. There's 2 of you?
No, just
Who are you?
one. Who am I? You're the one who just.
I just saw you in there at the lake. You were talking to some thing, and then it came in my face.
It did what to your face?
It tried to eat me. What the hell were you talking to?
I have been in this room the whole time. Everyone was here. What are you talking about? Listen, I think you might be confused, and I think I might know why. You're
What are you
dead,
talking about?
right? You died, and you are shown up mysteriously in this house full of many things of the afterlife. And I think maybe you are not at peace yet.
Thane's gonna flick his forehead.
I don't understand what that would achieve.
Could a ghost do that?
I'm not saying you're a ghost. I never once said you're a ghost.
Well, none of the others in here are corporeal.
Yeah, but we all arrived here together and traveled from other parts of these lands, whereas you appeared
Here.
here, and apparently a member of our party has seen you die, or heard you. I'm not sure if they saw you die.
Yeah, no, I did see him die.
So, if you're seeing things that are maybe a little unsettling, maybe just because you're dead.
Whatever. You just look for yourself.
Okay. So there are 2 of Shuyet. One is in that room.
Yeah, talking to some weird tentacle monster with 3 eyes and a massive spiky toothed mouth.
And they're talking in a walk-in wardrobe, or does it look
No, Grace, it was the lake.
different? Okay. A lot of stuff has been going on here, and Shuyet does raise a good point. You are dead.
You were dead.
No, but
Wait, you were dead? Why are we with these people?
Look, we're all going to be dead very soon if we don't, I don't know, try to get along. Declan, did Grace and Xander see, when we saw Chouette leave the ballroom, did we see that he was looking out into the lake again? Because we knew that we had come from that direction.
You had, yeah, you had watched in the party or during the party at some point, while she had sort of sequestered himself into a quiet corner.
Yeah.
He had fixated on the door, and as he moved up through, you watched as Shuyet kind of stayed in that doorway, staring out into the underground lake.
I'm going to send a mental message to Grace. Technically, in the ballroom, we did see him go back into the lake after being, transfixed.
That we did. And he was gone for our entire fight in that ballroom.
That is true.
Shuyet, where did you go when you left the ballroom?
DM, what do I remember?
You were in the underground lake. You just, and then you came through. The ballroom was still in full swing. You assumed they'd all gone through the other door the same way that Byron had. You made your way back up.
Okay. I went to the lake. I needed some time to collect my thoughts, which I did. I made my way back into the room and followed you guys to where we are now.
You went to the underground lake that had a creature in it that tried to kill us.
Yes.
To get some quiet?
I didn't say quiet. I said to collect my thoughts.
Okay, true. Okay, to collect your thoughts. And you weren't scared that the creature would get you in some shape or form?
Every step I take in this house is out to get me. At least I know what that creature is. Or
What
where
is
it is. Rather than what it is, but where it is.
Okay. Right. All I know is that wherever we go, we should all try and stick together as much as possible, least any new faces decide to pop up.
Well, all ones disappear. We still don't know where Byron is.
True. We should search for Byron.
Did we glean anything from our insight checks on Thin, Declan?
Nope.
Interesting.
Grace is going to just look Thane up and down super thoroughly and just kind of almost do a wee lap around him and say, this shouldn't be possible.
The last time you looked at me like that was our wedding night.
No, I looked at you many times like that, but you just were too taken by something else to notice Thane, like you usually were.
I'll choke on my cigarette a little bit and then kind of stub it out on the windowsill.
We should go and look for Byron, but this is not natural. This place isn't natural. Whether you're here as a sick, twisted joke, and I've had my fair share of those played on me in recent time. I don't get given things like this for nothing. Pain. There was a time I was naive, I was gullible, very easily swayed by muscles and a cheeky smile, but you changed that.
He's gonna just smirk and then just let out like a heavy exhale and point to the door to the ballroom and say, "Bone monster cave." I'm not going out the window.
Oh no! Oh, there's the third door.
The third door that we haven't gone into. I'm not going to be the one to open that door.
Thane, you're up.
Put those muscles to use. If you are Thane, he would have leapt at the chance.
He's going to kind of just stare at her for a minute too long for it to be comfortable, and then do a spike turn with his jacket
It try to make me uncomfortable.
and head over towards the door.
Top, middle, or bottom?
Middle.
Okay, so I'm just going to split the stack and take the first one. Okay. And I need you to roll a d13, please.
I don't have one of those.
I said get one ready. Just get another. Like,
You did
Google
say
it.
to prepare one on.
I wasn't listening. Was that when my headphones weren't working?
Lose a level. Lose a level.
4.
Okay, no, you're fine. The door opens, and immediately you see this. It's not as long as the ballroom as such, but you do see a huge like kitchen area thing in front of you. Immediately there is a stench of rotting food. Like it's that sickly mold smell that comes in. The kitchen is in an absolute state.
He'll kind of just gag and be like, "Well, no monsters, but it stinks."
Better than nothing. Grace would like to put Eleanor on the bed before we leave the room.
Okay. You take her body and you place her on the bed. Her eyes closed. She's lying there in a blood-stained nightgown and a really sort of delicate kind of little house coat over her shoulders.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Grace is going to follow Thane.
Xander and Shiget.
Yep, follow as well.
Yep, gonna follow in.
You all kind of spill into the kitchen, and you all get that sickly mold smell that kind of wafts through the air, that smell of rot. The kitchen itself, there appears to have been it seems to be in sort of a something has happened here. Like it's not that stuff is smashed or broken, but something clearly has gone down. All of you give me perception checks.
20, not natural.
16.
16.
Okay. For the 16s and 17, again, like I said, the kitchen, it's long kind of high tables, and you see kind of just these sprawling kind of shelves, cupboards all kind of stacked up with different kind of cutlery, delf, baking utensils, so on and so forth. The counters are covered in food. Food is not rotten.
Don't eat that.
Sander, a little further into the room, you can see a butcher's block, and there is a cleaver wedged in it, and there's a hand on the butcher's block.
A human hand?
Yes. Yeah.
So, don't mean to alarm anyone, but there's a hand over there.
Not one of mine.
Good to know.
Grace is going to investigate the hand.
Yeah, do we notice it? Like, does it have anything distinguishing on it? Like, does it have jewelry or?
Distinguishing
Or does-
markers.
Does the butcher's knife have like blood on it? And if so, like, is it dried and old, or does it look kind of fresh?
Okay. So a couple of different things. Are all of you kind of spilling into the kitchen now to get a sense of this? As you move further in, you see that there are several large stone cases set in against the wall, sunken a little lower into the floor. And there is a scratching sound coming from inside them. As you sort of move past, you hear a whimpering sound, and the hand, you can see blood pooling from it, as if it's just happened. And there is somebody on the other side of the countertop, sort of squat low and kind of tucked in under it, whimpering.
Need a hand?
They don't react.
It's okay.
I didn't take it. I swear.
You didn't take
I
what?
swear. Oh, please don't take my hand. Please.
We won't. We are not going to take the hand.
And you see this young half-elf woman dragged up out, and then her hand is slammed onto the butcher's block.
Do we see what's grabbing her?
No, it's just this. This seems to be just playing out, and the cleaver rises up.
I want to block
And
it.
she thrashes and she screams and she is crying, please, oh please, I swear it wasn't me, I didn't take it, I don't know who has her locket. And the cleaver comes down and she collapses to the ground, wailing and holding the bloody stump from the wrist, where blood sprays and splatters. And she vanishes.
Does the hand on the chopping block vanish, or is it still there?
Stays. It is rotting.
Is there two hands there now?
Nope.
Just the one.
Is the hand rotting at like a slightly faster rate than it normally would, for example?
it's not rotting kind of before your eyes like aging.
Yeah.
It's just now it is just this rotting mess on the.
Oh, okay, cool. Whew, and are they still sounds coming from those chests?
Yep.
Hello, Grace. Grace is gonna like kind of talk to one of them, feeling a bit stupid. Like, is there anyone in there?
What's your passive perception, Grace?
12.
Give me a perception check. You can hear something inside. Beyond the scratching, you can hear something.
Bye.
That is a 14.
No. There's definitely something. There's a muttering, but you can't make out.
Grace is gonna kind of look over their shoulder to the others. I can't hear what they're saying, and I'm not keen on opening anything in this place.
So you think those people in there?
It sounds like some form of spoken something. It sounds like muttering. I can't hear that well, unfortunately, and I don't know if it's the pot or if they're trying to avoid detection. And Grace's gonna say that a bit louder to see if that changes what's being said.
There are these 3 large stone cases. They're about 6, maybe just under 6 foot wide, set into the floor, and there are large ropes kind of looped and set into the stone like a lid.
Do they look like sarcophagi?
That was going to be my question as well.
No, they're not ornate or anything like that.
Just regular jars or vessels or something.
Is the food all rotten now?
Nope.
The way the hand was. The food is still the same.
Food is perfect.
What type of food is it? Is it like, can I like break open an orange or something?
Yeah. There's a couple of trays with fruit set on it, and Juliet, as you take an orange, kind of pull it open, juice just sort of leaks out from it, and you can smell citrus.
Tane's going to move closer to the stone cases.
So there's, like I said, there is 3, and they're on that back wall at different. So it's not one after the other. It's like stone case, a couple of shelves, a cupboard, stone case, kind of a wash area, and then another stone case. So 3 is the closest one to the butcher's block.
Yeah.
1 is closest to the door that you came through. 2 snack in the middle.
I'll go to the number 3 then.
Same one that Grace is at.
Yeah. And then just kind of hunker down and see if I can hear anything coming from it.
What's your passive perception?
15.
No. You'll have to make a perception. Again, you hear that you can hear the scratching from the underside.
No, still a 15.
Declan,
Yeah.
message says I point my finger towards a creature within range. It doesn't say that I have to see them.
Interesting.
So if I can try, if I assume that I think there's something in one of those, can I try and send it a message?
Can I ask? So I'm going to say yes to that,
Okay.
but I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. Does message allow me to send you something back?
It does.
Great, wonderful. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah, fantastic. I had a feeling that was going to come. This is going to go really well. Yeah, 12.
What are you saying, Xander, as you reach out?
What are you?
I assume kind of maybe staring at the same one that Grace and Thane are kind of leaning down into kind of ears pressed against it. 100 different voices lash out. Hungry!
Ooh, that's terrifying.
No.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
A disadvantage.
Yeah. DC 15.
No, I got 5.
No.
Oh.
You, as you reach out, and this pushes back, you feel teeth, Xander. You feel 1,000 teeth set into your flesh and rip and tear at you from the inside. Shuyet, Grace, and Thane, you turn back to see Xander hocking up blood and bile from his stomach.
Whoa, what the hell?
Well, that's not great.
What happened?
Xander,
Oh, that's too many dice.
take 19 points
Yeah.
of piercing damage.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, psychic damage. 19 points of psychic damage.
Psychic damage. Okay, that makes it so much better. Yep, there's definitely something in there.
Not friendly, I'm guessing.
Oh no.
I like spit out more blood, kind of towards Thane's fate. No,
Nice.
they're hungry, but I think they may be satiated now.
The scratching continues from inside the box.
Should we give them the food?
I don't think they're hungry for fruit.
No.
No, we shouldn't, 1, open those, and 2, touch any of that.
And it's not like there's a single one in that box.
Oh, how many,
I don't know.
roughly?
Dozens, all screaming.
They have to be
Oh.
small then?
Just because it's small, vicious.
Don't I know it? And he gives you a wink.
Grace is just going to look at him dumbfounded, like, of course you would be able to make a joke at a time like this. Xander, Grace is going to try and do, like, well, actually, Grace can't do anything. You're bleeding from the inside, bro, so...
I'm coughing the blood up. You know, it's loose in my body. It's not where it should be.
Grace is just gonna, like, try to helpfully, like, pat you on the back. And,
Thank you.
They're there.
don't one of you have a healing spells or something?
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
You're
but
fine, right?
yeah,
Oh, Petrie.
I
We all,
feel.
we all took a long rest.
I feel like we'll rest again soon. You know, I think after this we'll all need a little lie down.
Maybe the next room will be another bedroom with less dead bodies.
That'd be great.
But, Grace is gonna want to do a vibe check on Shuyet because this, like, the vibe. I'm just like, they just sus. Just everything is just feeling a bit wrong right now with the responses.
This is
Like,
what it wants. It wants us to turn on each other.
I
Isn't
literally
it?
just told you my spell slots, but yes, go for it.
We know he's aloof, but with good reason. This is just a bit too unnerving, I think, for
Alright.
Grace.
Okay.
Okay. Would that be insight, yeah? Or
Yeah.
perception? Okay. Insight, that is a 18.
He's just that mean.
Yeah. There's nothing to it, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, you get there's a sort of a cold, logical energy from Shuyet.
Okay.
This is the most practical side of it. He's not dead or dying, so
Okay. Okay, Grace is gonna look around to see if there's any other doors in this
There's
room.
there is one, Grace, at the far end of the kitchen. There is a set of double doors, and in front of it, you see a cart, like a kind of a dining cart,
Hmm.
filled with food and drink.
Grace is going to see if there's anything like cutlery or anything that's kind of just on the counter, and they're going to lob it at the double doors. Listen.
Secret force
There's
field.
there's methods to your madness, I feel.
Well, there's madness to the madness. They're just gonna throw it over there to see if anything sort of like happens, because
Give me give me a dexterity. Just give me a roll and add your dexterity bonus to it.
Ooh, that is a 10.
You throw it, like you grab kind of a knife, you throw it at the door and it rattles.
Babe, what did the cutlery ever do to you?
First of all, you cannot call me that.
It's what I always call you.
It's what you always called me. Called, past tense, when you were alive. And I was mad at you when you died. So why do you think I'd just be okay with you calling me babe?
I don't know. I just want things to go back to the way they were.
I'm going crazy. I must be going crazy. Grace is just like, you just want things to go back to the way they were. Just like that. Like nothing
Well,
happened.
obviously, we have a lot to talk about, but like,
Yes, we have so much to talk about. So much to talk about. But you're just acting like it's, I don't know, Sunday afternoon. We've just gone to a park. Nothing about this is unsettling to you.
we've been in way spookier places than this.
Sander raises an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, we have. But you were alive. You were dead, Thane. You're dead.
Maybe we all are.
If I was, then this must be hell. Or some
Wow.
it makes no sense. Why would this be happening if we were dead? Surely when you die, you're supposed to find some sort of peace or something, right, Juliet? Isn't that what theologists talk about? That, or I don't know, whatever the fuck is happening here, Thane. Babe, off the table.
Noted. I love it when you're so bossy.
Declan, is there any engravings on these stone box things?
At first glance, you don't see anything kind of on the lids, but as you sort of like, if you want to step a little closer to where Grace and Thane are arguing.
Yeah, I was going to kind of push between the two of them at this
Do you mind for having a moment?
there are two others, like, if that's the case. But if you want to just go to this one, it's not that these things are like fixed into the ground. They're sitting in like holes in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something on the inside, like down that gap. You can kind of see something kind of hanging from the stone case.
I will. Let me see what I have. If I take like an arrow, I'm just going to try and like catch it, flick it up. I don't want to stick my hand down there first if I can help it. Don't want to lose my hand as well.
Ooh.
The case slams into the tiny gap,
Hmm.
smashing the arrow.
Thank goodness I didn't stick my hand in there.
I was going to smash your fingers to bits. I need to start getting more creative with my traps, I think.
Whoa.
Is okay. Well, didn't like that. Does it look like there was a mechanism that moved it?
Can't see that from here.
Okay.
It it wasn't like it slid, like, it was more like a violent jerk forward.
What did you see?
Oh, there's
there.
something. Was it metallic, Declan?
No. It's hanging from something metallic, but
Okay.
there is something down there.
Oh, there's something down there, but it clearly doesn't want me to get it.
There's no writing on the cases themselves.
No.
Something
Right.
something alive down there, or something?
I don't know, something that can eat you from the inside, at least. I want to check down that gap on the other two as well. Do they have a similar thing that's hanging?
Give me perception checks. Or investigation, I think.
Investigation. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was an 11 plus investigation 6, so that's 17.
The others, the second one is quiet. You don't hear anything coming from inside. You don't hear that scratching sound. That seems to be only coming from the first and the third.
Okay.
There is something hanging down from here. Again, hanging from like a little metal hook.
Should we try to hold these other jars to the side?
I don't know. God, how strong are you?
Not particularly, but you need something in the way of.
Well, this middle one isn't scratching and screaming, so.
Usually the quiet ones are the worst.
God, right.
Full sense of security and all that. But if you are seeing something worth noticing, it might be worth a try.
I didn't realize I had this cantrip till I opened my character sheet. I'm gonna kind of like turn my hand, and like a spectral hand comes from it. I'm gonna use Mage Hand to try and grab whatever is in there.
Nice.
It, again, this coiling spectral hand just sort of twists with your wrist and extends forward. It slips down the gap. You hear the small kind of rattling of a chain. And it pulls out what looks to be a rather... It's like a clipboard of such. And there are several pages of paper on it.
Okay, I will flick through and have a look to see what's written.
Dozens of names.
Any other detail?
As you... Again, it's like you just see the names. It's just a list of names. Inedible. Gamey taste. Tastes like earth. Should have savored the ears more. Note to self, goose fat works best.
Lovely. Do I recognize the penmanship from anything we've seen previously? No.
No.
I feel like this is something Byron would have enjoyed. I kind of like, toss the clipboard towards the others. So either the things in there have been eaten, or someone's feeding people to these things.
Well, considering the hand on the chopping block, it actually, Maybe not
Should we throw the
necessarily.
hand in and see what happens?
I don't want to open those lids.
Ooh, we probably should not open those lids. But I also don't think it was those things making these notes unless
No.
whoever was feeding them could talk to them. And there was some sort of a symbiotic relationship.
Should we
Perhaps.
find some goose fat?
No, unless we can find. I look at the name that mentioned the goose fat. I don't think it's going to help.
Belladine Renard was
Renard,
the name
is that-
next to. Yeah.
Renard, is that surname familiar? No. So, unless we can find her, I don't think goose fat's going to come in useful. I'll use the mage hand on the third one.
Again, same thing. The case kind of juts forward. Mage hand has 1 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah. The magic just poofs.
Do you think it's worth trying to get what you saw, Sander?
What do you mean? From out of the other ones?
Well, whatever you saw to make the chest move like that, do you think it is worth us trying to get whatever you saw?
I don't know. It could easily just be 2 more clipboards that have names of people that have been fed to these 2 ones.
Page. True.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just remembered. I have identify, but do I have to touch it to use it?
Identify the spell.
Yeah. You choose one object that you must touch
Yeah.
throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. Whether it requires attunement or how many
so
charges it has.
If you want to know you have to be able to touch it. What's Juliette doing at this point?
Reading his character sheet.
He's doing.
Yeah, I actually I think he's kind of just ignoring that because that seems to be like a dead end. Like there's stuff in boxes and it doesn't seem like we can open them. So he's kind of looking around the food. He is looking for goose fat because he says if that works best, who knows what it might work best with.
She got secret cannibal.
Stranger things have happened.
And yeah, I actually think he's gonna try eat a bit of the orange.
You take a mouthful. It is deliciously sweet and sour. Like it's that sort of the acid from the citrus, and it kind of catches a little at the back of your tongue, but the flesh is sweet. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
17.
It's strange. Like your head suddenly feels very, very warm, Shiat. And you feel kind of again, that heat rise. You feel a little lightheaded. You feel as if for a moment you may just upend everything inside your body. Like it might just want to haul itself out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And as your vision kind of blurs, you see somebody move across from you. Heavy white shirt, some blood spatterings on it, dusty blonde hair slicked back. I say, you don't look quite well. One moment, fellow. And he moves to one of the cupboards and he takes a cup. He moves to the counter with the sink set into it and fills it water, and he hands it to you. He's strange. Like he has kind of a very prominent birthmark just on the right side of his face, just kind of around his mouth. He has these really, really deep green eyes, and he kind of smiles at you as he hands the cup.
Who are you?
You all hear Shuyet ask the question.
Who are you talking to?
Can I hear them?
Vaguely, it's sort of like it's like your head's underwater. And he kind of holds up his hands. You see that they're kind of covered in a little bit of blood, and he wipes them on the apron that's pinned across his front. I do beg your pardon. Probably not. I can hear Nanny scolding me. And he holds Alabaster Blackmore.
Hello. I'm Shuyet.
Are you visiting the grounds?
Are you dead?
A moment. And he pinches his cheek, and you see it kind of there's a redness, and he kind of yelps. No. Though I don't quite know if that's the exact metric one should be. Perhaps if I pinch you.
Yeah. No, thank you. You're not the first person today to use that method. Okay.
Do you question the mortality of most people you meet for the first time?
In this house,
Mr.
yeah.
Shuyet?
Yeah, I do. It's full of a lot of it's full of a lot of I don't think we're on just one plane of being in this house.
Oh.
Huh?
Quite the philosophical fellow, aren't you?
No. I'm just relaying what I'm experiencing.
I see.
What can you tell me about what goes on in this kitchen?
Why do you ask? And his eyes narrow.
There's a lot of strange things happening. Severed hands, kind of, I guess, boxes / coffins with some odd creatures.
He moves
Goose
moves to that middle kind of counter.
Mm.
Oh. I wasn't aware. Huh. You haven't told my uncle about this, have you?
Who's your uncle?
Julian Blackmore.
Is he alive?
For now.
Okay. No, I have not met Julian yet.
Very good. What is your AC?
Oh, dear.
14.
I wonder if Shuyet goes well with goose fat.
Potentially.
A 12 doesn't hit then,
No.
as Alabaster takes a cleaver from the countertop, turns, and in that moment, you just see a flash as he brings the cleaver to your throat. Like he goes to like hack it into you. And he vanishes as you throw up the contents of your stomach onto your shoes and the floor. That's where we're going to take a break.
Oof.
Gross.
Cool.
Blech.
You want to go straight to a break, Jonathan?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
All right.
Throw up next.
Back
See
in
y'all in a
5 fucking 10.
Bye.
And we are back. Hopefully, you had a chance to rest, stretch, grab a hydration, a little bio break. We left off with Grace, Juliet, Thane, and Xander in the kitchen of the Blackmoor estate, a place that seems to hold its fair share of surprises, and not the good kind. And while Xander, Grace, and Thane struggled with some stone cases, Juliet ingested some of the food and found himself talking to somebody that nobody else could see. We pick up Juliet with you staring down at the sick on the floor. It's mostly just bile and liquid, but there is clearly a chewed strip of what looks like leather on the floor.
Don't remember eating that.
Who are you talking to?
Are you all right?
Yeah. No. I'm not perfectly fine. And he's kind of scribbling in his notebook and trying to piece things together. I think if we want to communicate with the spirits, the beings that are in this house, we need to eat the food.
Mm,
I'm not sure I trust eating the food since I hold up the clipboard.
Yeah, no, it's not a lovely experience. But I did meet Alabaster Blackmoor.
Okay.
Who said their uncle is Julian Blackmoor. They were wondering what I was doing in this space, which makes me think that they are potentially trapped in their timeline of when they lived here.
Their timeline? Oh, well, yeah, actually, no, that makes some sense considering what's been happening. Okay, so
Yeah.
Alabaster Blackmoor. Julian is the man who killed Eleanor and was Eleanor's husband, who tried to force her to love those poor children. Okay, and you think by eating the food that, to me, can I do either some sort of a check on that piece of leather
that's in my sick?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to touch it, but just kind of look at it to be like, does this look like any leather I'm familiar with?
Investigation or medicine?
I'll go investigation. That is a 14. Damn, not great.
At first it does just look like a piece of leather that Juliet ate. But as you sort of poke and prod it, kind of lifting it with the tip of your scimitar, Grace, kind of just examining it, it looks more and more like cured meat.
Right. Grace is going to kind of stand up and look to Shia and say, I know you ate fruit, an orange. This looks like cured meat, and considering what Xander found, there might be an illusion on the food, and you might have eaten people.
That's new.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
That's just a theory, though. That's my theory, but it doesn't look like any leather that I've worn or come across.
It's odd that you went straight to people, but I guess considering the surroundings, I get it. Yeah. It definitely tasted like orange. It definitely felt like orange. There was nothing suspicious about it.
Grace is going to cast Detect Magic.
As you reach out into it, Grace, you feel magic all around you. Like you feel it kind of humming from the people kind of around you. For some people, magic is light. They see it as light. For you, it's always been like vibrations. It's like music almost. It's a sound. And each and every person who is in any way magically inclined has that sound. It feels as if magic here is passing down through a well. Like you can hear it like almost being pulled away down below.
Okay. Well, that was less than insightful. But if you believe eating this disguised meat as a way of talking to the goat, do you really want to talk to them? Was he friendly? Maybe friendly is the wrong word. How was your interaction with Alabaster?
Much like many of my interactions, I think.
You're going to need to elaborate.
Yeah, okay. Like I asked some questions, nothing insightful was given. He just seemed concerned why I was here and that I didn't tell his uncle. I said, I think he was dead. And he said, don't tell the uncle that.
Oh,
I would also remind you that he did try and slash your throat with a meat cleaver.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, and then he enacted some violence on me, so much like any of my interactions with
Oh,
him.
okay. Maybe you should have led with that. Did he say anything about those boxes?
No. I did bring the boxes up, but no.
And how did you react to that?
Was that throat slashing?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so
Okay, so maybe he's the one responsible for this lovely list that we found.
possibly, well, considering, what's I'm not going to eat any of the fruit. It was a good idea, but I don't mind if somebody else wants to do that and let us know what happens. But
I would rather not risk eating people. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tane, you're dead. Why don't you try grape or something?
No, but
No?
I will try this. And he goes over to the middle box and casts Identify.
Okay. As you move over, and again, Grace, you can kind of feel the vibrations coming from Thane. You can hear this. It's a low baritone hum that just seems to pulse from Thane. It's his song you hear.
Oh.
And
Only
Thane, as
his.
you go on, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. Only his, yeah.
In that it is Thane's song.
Okay.
Yeah. You drop, reach out, put a hand on the case, and it isn't magic in any shape or form. What you do understand about it is that this is some sort of old way of storing food that needs to be kept at a cool temperature. So heavy stone blocks built into the actual earthen floor and kept away from any heat. Would be a way of keeping kind of foods at a chill temperature, that making them last longer.
It's not magical.
And the others?
They look the same to me.
But
They
the
are
others-
identical.
But they're not the same. The others are housing things that tore Xander up from the inside out without even needing to physically touch him.
That was only the third one, right? The first
Uh,
one
I
had
think-
a similar.
1 and 3 had the same sounds coming from it. You touched the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only the third one attacked Xander. Technically.
Like
It was whichever one you and Grace were.
It
yes,
was the third one.
it was the third one, but I
Mhm.
like Xander never qualified that it was that box. I think.
Mm. Okay. I'm not going to know anything else unless we open one of the boxes.
I have a feeling that there's nothing in the middle one. That one, there's something in that can kind of reach out mentally. I assume something similar is in the other one.
Okay. Well, okay. What are we doing? Let's open the box.
Jacqueline, you know the way you said there was like ropes or chains or something around them?
Like,
Are those wrapped
the-
around all three, or
No. Sorry, let me clarify. It's not the boxes aren't wrapped or tied up. It was like heavy rope loops, like handles.
oh,
of
sorry,
lift. Yeah.
perfect.
Well, if you aren't willing to try and identify the sort of container these are in, because yep, they look very much.
I
the
just
same,
did.
so- Well, you identified the empty one, Thane. The empty one.
But
one
they're all
that's
the
not
same
made-
container. If it's magic that's in them.
Okay. Actually, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yep. Somebody, let's open the box.
Xander will sigh and walk over to the middle box.
The middle box.
hmm
I am going to, before that, while Xander's doing that, I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself.
I'd also like to point out that you've not had a long rest.
Oh, we haven't? I thought we
Oh,
had.
Oh, we did.
No, ye jumped. I said to you just before we went into it that you have not taken a long rest. That you could start the session in the bedroom and take a long rest, but you all went investigating and traversing through. So,
Whoops. Lil Nap first, anyone? Lil Nap?
Oh,
So we hunker
Right.
down then, actually.
yeah.
Gonna use
Maybe-
this severed hand as a pillow.
Yeah, I think this room is as safe as any right now.
Shuget's already curls up under one of the
Okay.
tables. This little
Um,
blanket I'm sure he has in his pack.
who is going to keep watch?
I can keep watch first. I don't mind.
You were injured. Are you sure?
Yeah. What's
I
the
will.
worst that could happen?
No. No, you're not taking watch by yourself, Thane.
Oh, join me. I'd love the company.
You know what? Fine.
is that where we?
Yep, I'm gonna hunker down here.
Shuget's already snoring. So.
I envy him.
The Xander and Juliet sort of like trying to find some comfort on the cold tiles of the kitchen floor. Grace and Thane, describe to me what you do on those first few hours. What's happening?
Grace is just going to sit there quietly, keeping watch, looking around occasionally. They're going to want to look out the window actually. In the
There are
kitchen.
none.
There's none. Oh, okay.
No.
No windows. Right. No windows.
Thane is going to take his dagger and try and carve a little T plus G in a heart on the box in the middle.
What are you doing?
If we die here, it'll be a last signal of our love.
Last signal for love was dealt with a while ago.
I will get you back.
I expect nothing less. I assume that's why you're here.
I told you before I'd follow you to the ends of the earth. Here we are.
But also before you were lying, as you're prone to do.
I was merely straying from the truth a little.
Wow, that's a new one, actually. That's a new one. It's nice to see that the afterlife didn't put a dampener on your inappropriate humor.
It's what you love about me.
Loved past tense.
You still
You-
love me.
Mm,
You know it's true.
A part of me has a remembered fondness for the man I married.
That sounds like love to me.
And you're still delusional. Okay. Grace is just gonna kind of lean back against like one of the counters, like close to one of the others, and just kind of look up at the tiles. I know what this is.
What?
It's obviously the Grey Lady. Like that woman, well, that being can hold a grudge, a monumental one at that. And
She
she's
already
probably she already what?
killed me once.
And you think that once she just kills people, she just leaves them to die? She can just dredge up your likeness whenever she wants, whenever it suits her. She has done that many a time. She's done it with other likenesses many a time.
He's gonna walk over and take her hand and just be like, yeah, but they were all illusions. I'm right here in the flesh, babe.
You can't call me babe. And just because you can touch me does not mean you or any of the things you say you feel are real.
What do I need to do to prove it to you?
I don't know. Turn back time, maybe? Like actually erase the last few months, years, God knows how long it's been of my life.
I would if I could.
And you can't because you're dead. Dead.
That's what I said.
Shut up, you're
Shuan
asleep.
mutters in his sleep.
Just pain, just I know you're not here for, like you said, the universe giving us this gift. Like, you should know me. You know me better than that. You know me better than that. If you think that I believe that, then I don't know. Just stay over there and yeah.
Okay. I will get you back though. He just
Why?
walks back over to the fridge. That's not a fridge.
Why would you even want me back? I'm the reason you're like this.
I'm the reason you're like that.
Yes, you are. You are. Very much so. I have not forgotten that. But I acted rashly. And I know I've apologized to whoever was willing to listen as soon as I went to her, thinking that she was exactly what I wanted. She's lying. She's cruel. She's cold. She's devious, but she's also so powerful and enthralling, and she knows exactly what you want, and especially that dark part of you that nobody ever sees. She is so good at that and turning everything on its head.
I don't know what you want me to say, but you should probably get some rest.
I am not closing my eyes and trusting you, of all people, with my safety.
He's gonna nudge Xander with his foot and just be like, "Hey, see, your shift is up.
Oh, it's just up, so it's over.
Get up, Spider Boy."
Oh, interesting. I will get up. Are you wanting this exact part of the floor where I was sleeping?
Oh, you warmed it for me.
I'll give like Grace a look to kind of be like, "You okay?"
Grace is going to like just very slightly kind of shake their head and take up a spot close to Xander. I just kind of like probably the most uncomfortable position, like slouching back against the counter with their knees to their chest, like their arms wrapped around.
Thane, what's your passive perception?
15.
When you lay down where Xander has been resting, and we're going to say that conversation between you and Grace was sort of broken, fragmented, like between silences and stuff like that. The time passes. So kind of 4 hours slip by as you boot Xander, who gets up and who Grace sort of throws themselves down next to. And as you lay on the floor, you see two things. Or you notice two things. You notice Grace slowly slip into sleep, exhaustion kind of taking hold of them. You notice the way that her nose twitches slightly, the way it always twitches when she is especially tired. The other thing you notice is that where Xander had been sleeping for the last 4 hours, where Xander had been lying down for the last 4 hours, it's not warm. It's stone cold. Xander, what are you doing during your watch? Grace sort of slumped down next to you.
I'm keeping an eye out for, well, one, if those boxes start to open by themselves. I don't trust what's in those. I don't trust Finn, so I'm gonna be kind of keeping an eye on him, especially if he's sitting like across watching Grace, and just kind of keeping an eye on the doors as well. And also checking the ceiling because people fail to look up sometimes.
It's one of those things where like 4 hours isn't exactly, I mean, you're awake, but your eyes still feel slightly heavy. And sort of kind of glancing around the kitchen, you see kind of like you see the cases on the other side of the wall, kind of the counters between you, but the different shelves. You see Juliette and Thane sort of bundled under them, and your eyes grow heavy. And you feel your head bob, and they kind of snap open, and you look up and you see the ceiling, and then you hear the clattering of pans, and you can hear two young women speaking to each other. Annabelle, you shouldn't have. Annabelle, you'll get in trouble. That was the ladies. You should put it back. But if Julian or Alabaster sees you with it, the gods only know what'll happen to you. What's she going to do with it, Nyla? She's dead. It doesn't matter. I could sell it. Maybe buy us tickets off this Hell Rock. Promise me you won't say anything. My uncle knows a fella. The next day I've off, I'll go to the village and I'll see about just getting rid of it, okay? And there's just a silence in the kitchen.
I'd like to hide and then kind of stuff around to check in the direction where the sound was coming from, see if I could see anyone there, or if it's just completely vanished.
Give me a stealth check.
I can indeed. Let me get my skills back up. Stealth. Plus 9. Oh, lovely. Okay, that was a 17 plus 9, 26.
It's not even kind of a massive strain for you, Xander. It's you feel like your body kind of slightly contort as you get low to the ground, and your shoulders haunch, and you feel your bones curling and twisting with your spine, like your whole skeleton shifting as you slip low to the ground, and kind of without making a sound, you can just see kind of two young women in kind of scullery maid outfits, whispering to each other. One of them is holding a handkerchief, and you just see a flash of silver as she pockets it into a small little pocket on her apron.
Okay.
She scurries out of the kitchen without seeing you.
Okay, right. Damn. I was going to say, if they're still standing there, I was going to try and take it from her pocket. If I could, if she was a ghost. But... okay.
Hungry.
Did that come from the box?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. 14.
Your stomach roils and twists in pain. The voice came from deep inside you.
I light a cigarette.
You reach for the small box, your hands trembling. There's a flicker of light, and you can smell the smoke, and it smells like shit. As the smoke kisses against your lips and like rolling along the back of your tongue, dancing in your mouth, it is swill. It is rotting. It is vile. The hunger does not quell. Feed.
No. No, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna, if those two scholar maids have gone, I'm just gonna start patrolling the room. I'm gonna look for any secrets. I remember about Guinevere telling me about keys. Keeping my eye out for keys. Trying to keep my mind occupied.
As you kind of stand up and kind of try to rattle the cigarette kind of still fixed between your lips, Xander, you see that the form of that maid has just kind of vanished into the dark. That young woman, Nyla. You kind of softly pace, and you can just... It's just so still and so quiet. Except for the whisper behind your eyes. The wet in your mouth as you salivate. The pangs of hunger in your guts. The tremble and the sweat down your back. And your eyes fall on Grace each time you pass. On your watch.
I check my pocket watch. How long have I been on my watch?
25 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
You reach for the pocket watch on the inside of your breast pocket. And as you fix on the time, on the inside cover, you see the portrait of Emily. My darling. And a hand just glides across yours and takes it. Is everything all right?
I turn to kind of follow the hand to where it leads to, or to who it leads to.
You see Emily. Her throat torn out.
You know it's not all right.
Her hand reaches for your face. It's okay, Xander. It's who you are.
It's not. I swear.
Xander. You're a beast. You're a monster.
I know.
Feed. Wisdom saving throw.
Oh god, what's my wisdom modifier? +1. Okay, 15.
You're standing in the kitchen, looming over Grace. Sweat rolls down your back, Xander. And you can catch the faint taste of cigarettes, tobacco, clove, and rose hip. And your breathing steadies. Two hours have passed.
Okay. Was it kind of agreed we were all doing 4 hours? Or is the long rest 8?
Long rest is 8, yeah.
Okay.
Got away with murder here. Lovely 8 hours.
It might be time to boot Chuyette, though.
Yeah. Xander's going to peel himself away from looming over Grace and make his way over to Chouette and just kind of kick him slightly with my foot. I don't want to get too close.
Well,
Not because you'll eat him, but because God knows what fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
he'll just
Um,
jump up and just be like, "I'm ready."
Okay. Shuyet,
Mm-hmm.
you heard. I tell you what. Yeah, no, fuck it, no. You heard Xander speaking to nobody, just speaking like it was softly. It wasn't shouting. It wasn't roaring.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last hour, give or take, a couple of minutes, you saw the young man just standing over Grace, just haunched, staring at her.
Xander,
Yes.
I'm not one to give advice because most of the time people choose not to take it, so it's often a waste of my energy. But I do think Grace has still got complicated feelings for this ghost thing. And I don't think it would be worth you getting involved at this point.
Xander looks at him puzzled. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay.
I don't think it is.
Well, I saw you, looking at her for quite some time.
Oh. No, that's not what that looks like. I was keeping watch.
You were whispering to her. Listen, I'm not judging. I'm literally just saying that when you try get involved with somebody who's already in a messy romantic situation, it can be, I don't know you, and I don't know if I
No.
like you,
Oh,
but
fair enough.
it's you know.
Nope, you're absolutely right. I should just leave it well alone. They'll sort it out, or they won't. And I shouldn't
I don't-
complicate things further.
Exactly, and we have a
Yeah.
lot more bigger things going on right now. I don't need a triangle happening around
No,
me.
terrible shapes.
Yeah, to be honest, I used to like them. I just thought they were so structured. They had so many good rules to follow, but they're really slowly becoming my least favorite shape. You're right, they are.
Yeah. We'll maybe find a better shape.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I could talk about shapes for days, but we really do need to probably figure out what's happening here.
Yes. Oh, I should probably let you know. That stuff aside, there were two, I don't know, probably ghosts talking. They look like maids. Annabelle, Nyla. Not names I've heard before, but one of them had the locket. I think they plan to sell it to leave the island.
Interesting. That's probably their hand.
I don't know. It didn't look like the person who got their hand chopped off Declan.
Only when Shuyet says it, Xander.
Mhm.
That sight of that young woman sort of cowering, screaming, crying. That was Nyla.
Oh, actually, now that you mention it, they did look familiar. The one named Nyla, I think.
What a shame.
So either the locket was retrieved by, I presume, Alabaster, or Annabelle made off with it. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it to people. Guinevere Blackmore in the ballroom. I was dancing with her. She mentioned keys, 3 keys that we needed to find to kind of help leave this place.
You know what? Byron would have been great. He had a lot of keys. That would have been really helpful. We're learning about a lot of Blackmoors. I think I need to make a chart.
Probably. We could use one of those clipboards. Start a new list.
I just have a notebook. I'm just going to do it in here.
That's fair. Well, enjoy your watch.
Yeah. And with that, Xander, you hunker down for the last stretch, like sort of the tiredness, the pit, the knot in your stomach there still quietened, now sort of masked or swallowed in a ball of anxiety. Juliet, you watch as the young fellow kind of drifts off, like, pretty quickly. The dead fellow, Thane, even in sleep, quite loud, quite obnoxious, quite gaseous, and you see Grace. There's something about her that you kind of lose yourself in that thought, like as you are sort of scrawling into the journal, because this is really the first time that you've had to kind of, aside from notes on the fly, to sit down in the quiet and reflect. Sit down in the quiet, remember, and write. And as you stare at Grace, we move back in time a couple of hours ago to the events in the underground lake. Something about that space, the stillness, even with the water and the sound of the little waves lapping against the hard black stone, reverberating around you. That in itself was quite meditative, but there was more to it. There was more beneath the surface. There's more beneath the waves. There's more deep down in the dark. And as you stared through the doorway, it's one of those things where you kind of look up and you find yourself standing there, standing in the underground lake on that stone platform. Water sort of slightly overflowing. You can feel the energy being pulled down. It's like the tide moving out, and that draw, that pull, and there's a little part of yourself standing there looking down into that swirling black that almost wants to let yourself loose to it, to let yourself go, if only to discover what is down there. You're like me, aren't you? And the voice just sort of echoes in the cavern.
Where are you?
I am here, below.
Oh. I don't know you, so I don't know if I'm like you.
I I've always been a phenomenal judge of a man's character, a man's heart. Shuyet. And you hear water kind of bubble from below, and it rises to the surface of the underground lake.
You'll take a step closer.
What have you come here to seek?
Knowledge?
A noble endeavor. What do you know of this place?
What I know and what I theorize are two different things.
Interesting. Perhaps this... Allow me a moment. I fear... I feel this conversation best spoken face to face. And the water begins to rise and swell and surge. And something is moving faster below. And there is just this column of water that just erupts. And it begins to rain in the underground lake. And standing about 10 feet from you, Shuyet, you see this coiling, inky blot sort of shift and turn itself. Hi, Heartfire Tales, party raiders. Just in case you're not into horror, this stream might not be for you. Just in case we're doing something icky and ooky. Don't let the fact that I said icky and ooky lull you into a false sense of security. Everybody's slightly freaking out. You watch as this tendril of just black ichor contorts and twists and wraps and folds into itself. And what at first is just this wet, squelching sound, you soon start to hear the snapping of bone. As if these things were broken, and now something that tries to remember what it used to be, what a skeleton felt like, seems to jab two hard pieces of bone together. And the water just sludges off. And standing in front of you, you see a vaguely humanoid form. It's like something that half remembers. There is a human face, but the skeleton, the skin is pulled tight around it. And you see the edges of cheek and ocular bone. The eyes are set too far behind. And it's just this swirling black, and the jaw slightly too long. And again, it continues to mold and shift and shape itself. And you see on the forehead 3 slits open, one after the other. And you see 3 eyes rolled along the back of the head, sorry, the top of the head along the back, and they close. And wet, straggly hair just sort of erupts where they were. And there is a gentleman of about maybe their 50s standing in front of you, slightly hunched, their posture sort of curved as they set into themselves, and they take a step towards you.
Do I recognize them from any of the visions or anything I've seen?
I don't think you have encountered... You do. Nope, you don't. Not at this point. Sorry, you do later. Oh, time. Fickle time. You do
Okay.
later. But and with that, as they step, they do offer a hand to you.
Yeah, I'll put my hand forward and say, you know, I'm Shuya. What's your name?
My name is Master Julian Blackmore.
The uncle.
You don't know that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have come here to seek knowledge, Shuyet.
Yes.
I appreciate not only your honesty, but your pursuits. May I ask you another question?
Yes. You can ask.
And you do see a smile sort of fold and wrinkle in his face a little bit. There's no teeth. There's no gum. There's just bone behind the lips. Should you find the knowledge you seek, what would you do with it?
That is my biggest desire and also my biggest fear. Because what else would I do?
What you seek, and he puts his hand to his chest and he presses. You find below.
In the lake?
Deep below the lake. The Blackmore Vault. I will give it to you. But you require 2 more keys.
Is this on top of the other 3 keys, or is it part of those 3 keys that the other person suggests?
Again, you've no idea about these
Oh,
keys.
yes. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Let me start again. Okay. 2 keys.
3 are required to gain access to the vault. Access to everything that you desire and more. Below, Shuyet, your desires will be met. But you have nothing to fear. Below is just the first step. There is a cosmos of knowledge that you can possess.
Where do I get the keys?
And he pushes his hand into his chest, and you hear the bone break. I possess the first key. And he pulls out a jagged piece of bone that is grown around a piece of iron, and you see a key. And he hands it outwards to you.
She will take it.
He holds it tight.
What do you need?
I have the first key. My nephew, alabaster possesses the second. The third key is unknown to me. It is hidden. This key, and he pulls it away from you. This I give you in exchange for Eleanor's locket. My wife keeps me bound to this place. Fetch the locket, Shuet,
Okay.
and I will give you the key. Somebody is watching us. And his head turns, and you just see a tendril explode out from him. And it rushes towards one of the walls. Go.
She turns to leave. Sorry about
You
that.
you just feel the water rip away from you as he sinks below it. As he does, there is just this lash of a tail outwards, and it just sinks into the deep black below. You stare down at your journal. You see the notes you've made. Cryptic. The best scholars, the best minds wouldn't just write their free thoughts where anybody could read them. And anybody who could read these would be a great mind, a mind that would deserve your knowledge, deserve to know your secrets. And there are few and far men and women on this planet, Shuet, to match an intellect like yours. And your eyes look up and you see Grace. And on the counter above her, you see the cleaver. The black handle fixed into the blade. And something calls to you.
I'll pick up the cleaver.
Oh. You're back. Apologies for earlier. I was tried hungry, you see, and I've a tendency to lash out, and Alabaster moves from around the butcher's block to the other side of the counter and just holds his hands up and kind of wiggles his fingers. A slip, really. No harm, I assume. You seem perfectly intact.
Thankfully, your aim and strength are, well, not as good as mine.
What can I say? I'm not really cut out for a lot of this.
Mm.
Have you taken the cleaver?
Mm-hmm.
His eyes fix on you. I find it best if you're trying to get to the matter of something, if you're trying to figure something out, it's never best to do it on an empty stomach. A full belly, Shuet. And what you hold is the key to sating that hunger. But the blade's dull. perhaps it could use a drink. You
Good.
see yourself standing in the kitchen, holding Alabaster's cleaver. It's that moment where, as if you've stepped out of yourself, and you feel the cleaver, and it is heavy. It almost seems to rattle in your hand. Feed her. Let her drink the blood. Offer her a hand, and you'll find your key. And he takes a clementine from the bowl, and he starts to peel it. And that is where we leave the session. With Juliette, a cleaver, and 3 sleeping party members.
Oh.
Somebody's about to lose a hand.
Oh, Shuette was the most innocent of us all.
Sorry.
You've been watching Saving Grace. This was chapter 10, The Depth of One's Soul. I'm Declan, and I've been your Dungeon Master. A big thank you to Soph, Emma, Tendai, and Eilish for a absolutely, I can't say fun, an absolutely a session. Thank you for a great session. Thank you for a game.
The session was had.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself.
I did really enjoy it. I was very much immersed
Yeah,
in
it was
it.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was so good. You didn't use your
so-
inspiration, Declan.
Oh, I'm storing it.
Oh, you can do that? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
I can do that. I'm the dude.
I regret saying anything.
Keep
You fool.
keep donating those inspiration points there. I will be using them against the player in the party at another point. We are going to be back in 2 weeks' time for another episode. We are about halfway through this adventure, halfway through the season 2 of Saving Grace. I really enjoy getting to play the darker side of TTRPGs and the darker themes. I love playing in horror. It's a lot of fun. And I love having, I love that I have a table of people who are, 1, incredible performers, but 2, very open to delving into these kinds of themes and stuff like that. A big thank you to everybody in chat who joined us this evening. It's always kind of nice to just kind of look over and go, haha, people are and I will just do what chat tells me to as well. There's that as well. So just throw that out there. So
Good to know.
chat who aren't players in a game.
You don't know what bots I am.
I know all the bots that you are. A big thank you to Heartfire Tales for the raid. And again, if you want to find out more about who we are, you can check us out on all social media, but actually not all social media platforms. We don't use X, Twitter. We're on Facebook, but so is your nan. And tell her to get off because it's a cesspit of
Cesspool.
misinformation and hate.
Mhm.
We're on Blue Sky. We have our own little Discord community where Telepathic Narwhal posts delicious bowls of satay chicken. I forget to take pictures of the food that I make, and then I get hungry thinking about them again. But it's our corner of the internet, and it's a nice, fun little spot to hang out. If you want to check out any of the other stuff, we stream here on Twitch. Just alternating Mondays for the moment, but we're hoping to kick off another campaign soon. And a Monster of the Week story that I am working on called Marked for Midnight. It's horror based, but it's got to be more of your 80s shtick than anything else. But I'm really looking forward to that. On Thursdays, we have our TTRPG talk show, Ben and Declan on a Roll. That's next Thursday. This Thursday, it would be TTRPG Trials, but I think the gang aren't available this week. I think there's a bit of a... Yes, there's... Oh, sorry. Nope, got that wrong. TTRPG Trials is this week. And they, so TTRPG RPG Trials is this week. The one in 2 weeks' time won't be, if that makes sense. So yeah, TTRPG Trials this week. There's also a brand new episode of Romancing the Dungeon out this Friday. So if you are following along, we're well into season 3, which Saving Grace is connected to, in a really, really fun way. Whoops. And I am gonna love yous and leave yous. Is that everything? Is that what I always do? I usually finish off like that. That's it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hey, thanks, bye. We are going to be looking at. Some people have already asked us about D8 Dungeon Drive this year. 100%, it's happening. We're actually looking to make it bigger, better, and dumber. So, and just in case she's watching, that wasn't aimed at Emily. But just in case, I'll get an angry DM tomorrow. But that's all from us. We're back in 2 weeks' time for the next chapter of Saving Grace. Have a great week, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you over on the Discord. Night.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.